guys, what is happening? And welcome to this video. I hope you're doing well and all is well with you. So before we get started, guys, please hit the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and we're going to get into it now. So we're going to get into really housing prices and, you know, the rates of returns people are getting right now. First of all, let's talk about this house that we're renting right now, the Airbnb right there. So that Airbnb, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet house here in Phoenix, Arizona. And had you bought it before the cerveza sickness, it would have cost you around about $300,000, a little bit less than that actually. And when they bought it last year, they paid just over $420,000. It had gone up nearly $100,000 since the previous owner bought it in 2019. And now this really just gets even more insane. The Zestimate that Zillow has on that house right now is $550,000. So it's gone up over 25% in just 1 year. And people think that is okay. People think, oh, that's fine, Luke. Everybody's moving to Phoenix because it's so nice and sunny here and whatever. And it's just whatever argument. We see these arguments time and time again. Those of us that think like investors, we know that people are going to come up with different arguments to justify themselves and say, hey, there's a reason, Luke, why these prices are going up. It's because of this. It's because of immigrants. It's because people are moving here because the sun comes out. Whatever, you know, it's retirees. The list can go on forever. But the real fundamentals are those people normally make up a minority, a tiny, small proportion of the market. And that's no different to here. Most of the market is fueled by people buying homes. It's not fueled by, you know, retirees moving here, for God's sake. It's just so stupid. I can't even keep a straight face. But another house which told an even better story of prices and what can happen was a house when we went out for a bike ride yesterday. And the thing is, when we went out for a bike ride yesterday, we came across this really nice house. It was for sale. So I checked it out on Zillow. It was 3,200 square feet. Real nice house. And it was built in 2003. And when it was built, I think they sold it for something like $184,000, which is insane. But that was way back before the bubble started. And then it was sold in 2006. And it was sold for $550,000, okay? Which is a lot of money, obviously. But get this, by 2008, it was sold again, because this house had an interesting history, let me tell you, just when it came to how many people were selling it, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, in 2008, it sold for $420,000. It had gone down a large chunk in just 2 years. But the fun doesn't end there. That house was sold again in 2010, but this time it was sold for $220,000. So if you adjusted those prices for inflation, the house prices essentially went back to the trend line. Because, okay, you can say, yeah, that's higher than they paid, Luke, though, in 2004. But when you adjust the inflation that happened over that 10-year, 11-year period, or less than that, actually, my math's getting off here. But you can see that, hold on a second, this is not normal. And that is exactly what will happen, I'm afraid, in Canada. Prices will go back to the trend line when you adjust them for inflation. The nominal prices won't go back to what you think they will, because you always have to look at the trend line over a long period of time, like 70 years. And you will find that the trend line of prices is way lower than it is right now, especially in places like Toronto, places like Vancouver. And those are going to be the California type bubbles that when prices crash, prices in those places will just be decimated. And the same goes for places like Calgary. I think Calgary will be absolutely destroyed because, quite frankly, Calgary has hit on hard times. Its economy is absolutely destroyed. 30% of the offices, and we're going to do some videos in the spring or whenever the weather gets a little bit warmer in Calgary, where I show you just how much office space is vacant. And people are going to become experts over 2022 on commercial mortgage-backed securities, because you're going to start to hear about commercial mortgage-backed securities more and more, and that's going to be because of what's happening with commercial real estate. And this is really the thing that people aren't paying attention to right now, is that a lot of these offices are vacant. So how are these companies, how are they, who own the buildings, how are they making money? It's exactly the same situation that we saw pre-2008, was all the warning signs were there. You know, there was a lot of vacant homes. There were a lot of subdivisions that were being built. People weren't buying the homes. People started getting evicted. There were these empty subdivisions. And that's exactly what you're kind of seeing in the commercial sector. This cactus, that's the saguaro, is really interesting because, I mean, look how tall this thing is, guys. I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but you got to see this because it's just absolutely insane. So I'm 6'3", and look at that thing. It's huge. And the holes in it, they're actually birds that nest in there. But the thing is, guys, this is like the values that people are expecting, the returns people are expecting to get. They're just out of their mind, and they are going to be absolutely destroyed when this financial crisis hits, which it will. And I can't tell you when that's going to happen. I know a lot of people, they say, you don't know when it's going to happen, so you can't talk about it. And it's just like, are you insane? It is impossible to predict when this is going to happen, because I don't know when they're going to increase interest rates. I don't know if the government's going to try and pull out more stops to kick the can down the road. I have no idea, but I do know one thing, and that is that every bubble meets its sticky ending. And just because it gets bigger does not mean that's a signal to invest all your money in it. And that isn't financial advice, by the way, but that's life advice. You know, when everybody is doing something, that's when you need to take a step back and go, do the herd usually make money? Do the 80% of people, do they usually make money? And you'll find out that no, they don't. It's usually the 10%. The 10% that was patient. Because imagine, let's just imagine for a second that you have $10 million and you don't have the need to invest in real estate right now for whatever reason, emotional reason that you have. So you have $10 million and you're seeing all this boom in the market, all this frothiness. You're going to be less inclined, I guarantee you, to invest, because you're going to think, I'm going to wait until this all calms down and then see what happens. And that is really just the key of investing in general, is your head. Your head is the key. Keeping a cool head, remaining level-headed is really the key. And we're going to be discussing more about this in other videos, guys, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I've got a free newsletter. I've also got a podcast on Spotify where we talk about totally separate content to this. That will be in the description. Come check those out, guys. I will see you in the next video. As always, peace and love, guys. Bye-bye.